So we keep hearing, you've got to go back to work. People need to get back to work. They want to go back to work. And I think people want to be safe and know that if they have to go back to work, that they're not going to get a fatal virus and die. But maybe I'm part of the minority here. But we keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again. And there are certain industries where, first of all, there are industries that didn't stop at all. Care work is one of them. But there are industries that do require you to actually be there. Factory work, for example, you actually have to be there. But there are a lot of offices and office jobs that don't need you to be there. And this is something that I've been fighting for years now, because I've worked in care since I was 24. I'm 31 now. Christ, I'm 31 now. Anyway, and when I joined the company that I'm with now, it was very clear to me I can either keep doing 6-7 days a week and see my health just fall to the dirt with this piss poor wage, but I have to do 6-7 days to pay the bills, or I can do my usual, and I emphasize usual because it does change depending on how many people are on annual leave. 4 on 4 off, my very lucky night shift patterns, and I can pick up a part-time job. So that's what I did. Now I have experience in digital marketing, digital media, sales and social media and so on and so forth, so that's what I kicked back into gear. And I run social media for companies. I'm a digital marketer, a strategist, consultant, blah 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 blah. Basically, I'm the kind of worker that I haven't stopped. If anything, I've kicked up a gear since the pandemic. But all the work I do for a second job, I do from my home. And I've had this when I apply to jobs in the UK that are asking for my skill set and that I can do without really paying attention. Because yes, I'm that good. But it always comes down to the same conversation over and over again. You know, for where I live in Dover, I keep being told in order to do this job you have to go to London. Depending on what the actual company is, I could spend 4 hours on a train just getting to the place. That doesn't include time it would take me to get from the train to the office or from my home to the train station. And I'm constantly sat there thinking, why the hell do I need to do that 5 days a week? That's ridiculous. I've worked, this year alone, I've worked between 7 and 9 companies depending on how exactly you want to define work. So whether it's just a one-off or whether it's regular working. No, 10 companies. 10 companies this year. And none of them have been in the UK. So I'm clearly not going to an office in order to do this job. I work with multiple companies in China, the US, and a couple in Canada. I've never been to an office to do these jobs. The most I've done is put on a nice looking shirt or something that would pass for a business shirt, usually while I'm wearing bright red trackies or pajama bottoms. But then you get on the Zoom call, and then after the Zoom call or the Google Meets or whatever we're using, those clothes are off and I'm relaxing again, doing the work that I've been paid to do, or that I've been asked to do for charities in some cases. So I don't need to be in an office. And a huge number of people have seen this. They don't need to be in offices in order to do this work. More importantly, for everyone who does what I do, work productivity has gone up. Ford, back in the early days when it was actually run by Ford, he was known for paying his workers way more than the minimum wage. Way more. And he said, when you respect your workers, paraphrasing, but when you respect your workers and you give them trust and you give them incentive to work, they work, and they work better than anyone else. Now, this kind of incentive is very different to what the Conservatives have been pushing, which is essentially the poor houses. We all learnt about the poor houses in school. They were made so repulsively disgusting so that you would rather do anything. You would take anything rather than go there. That's the mentality of the Conservatives pushing in with how they want to encourage people to get back to work. The reality is it works far more better with better incentives. Not, hey, you will starve, but hey, this is a really good job. In fact, I have it with an archery company that I work with. I'm an archer. I love archery. I've loved archery for years now, and I get a free bow every now and then. In fact, I'm very, very proud of this. Very proud of this. I gave them a design for a bow. They've made the bow. They're finishing off the paperwork. It will be released soon. But that's my bow. I now have a bow at a legitimate archery company. It's made me very proud. But the respect that these guys have given me from the get-go encourages me to work harder. Now, when I originally approached them, it was just to run their social media. I will do newsletters. I will source different sales techniques. I keep an eye on the competition. I've said I do newsletters. I do a lot of video editing for them. You wouldn't guess it from my video quality on here, but I am a good video editor. I just don't particularly do it for my own stuff, because my own stuff with video editing doesn't pay. But there's a lot I do for the company that I don't need to be doing, but I do it because of the respect, the trust that they've given me from the get-go. I will work those extra hours. I will get a message through at 1 o'clock in the morning, and if I'm awake, I'll respond to it. I won't stick to 9 to 5 office hours because the company has been really good to me. And it's not like they're paying me an amazing wage. I still have to work multiple jobs, but it's the respect that they've given. And in terms of productivity for people working from home, well, we've already seen this go up, because we've seen the people who are ready, who would normally have to start work at 9, but they're ready at 8:30. So they're just logging on half hour earlier and cracking on with their work. They're able to fit things, they're able to fit work around their personal life, and because of that, they feel respected by the companies and they're willing to work harder for the company. So why is it we keep being told by the elites that we have to get back into offices? That this new system is awful and we need to cram back into the offices like sardines? Is it because this method of working doesn't work, which again, between 7 and 10 jobs this year, none of them are in the UK? Or is it that Tory donors who make a bulk of their money from renting out office space are starting to feel the pinch? Food for thought, eh?